Hey everybody, welcome back to the Slimefun tutorial here on my channel. I am your host Boomer, and today we are going to continue our path down Foxy Machines. Today's part 2. We're going to get into some more of the tools and utility items that are located inside of this add-on. Let's get started. First and foremost, we're going to talk about there's boosted rails. All 4 vanilla rails are also turned into boosted rails inside of Foxy Machines. So let's talk about those. The boosted rail, the normal vanilla rail, runs maximum speed if it's been either massive downhill or powered rails. The most you can move is 8 rails or 8 blocks per second. And on a normal rail on a flat surface, you start to slow down. With the boosted rail, if I'm running at 2.5 times the speed, in other words, I'm going 20 blocks per second, and I hit a boosted rail, it won't drop me down to 8 blocks per second. It will slowly slow down, as similarly as if I were on the vanilla rails. So it'll still allow you to run faster while not being on a powered rail. There's also the boosted activator. Same thing, you can hit it at 2.5 times speed and it'll maintain it. The boosted detector rail, and of course the actual boosted power rail. And we're going to do a test. On the left here, we have a bunch of vanilla powered rails and a comparator to detect the rail inside of here. These are the boosted power rails from Foxy Machines with a couple of items in here. Here, we'll just make it one-on-one. And our goal here is to see approximately when does the Foxy Machine boosted rails become faster than vanilla, and just by how fast. So let's go ahead and fire this up. Ready? My guess is it's going to be pretty quick. Okay, so it's about 5 blocks in where the Foxy Machines hit a faster speed than a vanilla could go. Clearly you can see it's going way faster. And the comparator is still able to detect the item inside of the hopper minecart, which is really cool. So if you happen to be using any type of system to have your rails change direction, for example, they were harvesting crops, and it detects are there any crops in the minecart. If yes, divert off, go dump them, and then come back to the farm until you have more. And so you can see it does go significantly faster. We'll shut this thing off. That will come back. All right, next in here, I do want to talk about the ghost blocks. Now, I've got some bedrock, and you'll see that the ghost blocks are normal text. After you've placed and removed them, they do become italicized. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but let's place them down. Let's place down our bedrock, right? 9, 10. Okay, no more bedrock. You can't run through it. These are ghost blocks. They don't really exist. When this came out, I was very narrow-minded. I was trying to figure out what was the purpose of this. I didn't understand, right? Because if I wanted to place a ghost block of a birch log, I just place a birch log. If I wanted to place a ghost block of, stone brick, I place stone brick. But this gives you the ability to walk through the blocks without actually having to pick them up. And you can use them as a prank. You can't mine them, right? There's nothing there to mine. They appear that they're there, but there's nothing there. You can only remove them by right-clicking them with a ghost block remover. And you'll see now they are all italicized, which means that they have been picked up. There are a ton. And so if you wanted to, this would allow you to, the other reason I was thinking about this, would obtain a block that's normally not obtainable. For example, bedrock, right? You could actually obtain, for a build, how would bedrock look? So you've got, 10 pages of items. You've got essentially 337 items currently as ghost blocks that you can craft. And, so you need 6 billion, 2 magical glass, and the actual item to make a ghost block version of it. So that's where something like bedrock becomes an issue, right? Because unless you can obtain bedrock, let's just see if we can find the ghost block here for bedrock. I believe, yeah, so you would actually have to have bedrock in order to make it. And so that one's not going to be craftable unless your server allows you to obtain bedrock. So maybe more of there might be other applications that could possibly work. Again, maybe you have that ability where you can get bedrock. At least that way you can place it and then be able to pick it up. But I think it's more probably for the fun of pranking people, if nothing else, which is still pretty cool. All right, a couple of other things we're going to look at here before we'll come back to the pond a little bit later. So there are a couple of wands that I really do like that we'll use with that. But the first thing we're going to focus on here actually is the berry bush trimmer. Now it does need to be charged. Normally when you walk into berry bushes, right, you start taking damage. Well, if you come through and you right click it with the trimmer and we jump up into these, nothing. Now I can come back with shears. I can still harvest the fruit. Now I have set my tick speed really high just to show you that once you have trimmed them, as long as you don't harvest the plant itself, just the berries, that it stays trimmed. And this is great when you're making a build that you want people to be able to walk through without getting harmed, right? If you're really great with landscaping, that's a great thing, because if all of a sudden you walk into the berry bushes, hey, I'm taking damage, oh, that's a bad thing. All right, let's continue on. So just real quick again, the berry bush trimmer does need to be charged. You can charge it with any Slimefun charging bench, charger, the portable ones, any of them in the game. All right, so let's talk about possibly one of my favorite things in here. We have the ability to remove water or lava, and we can fill items into an area. Now, just like last episode, I talked about the chunk loader. By default, there's in the config is a max of 8 per player. There is also a default of the max amount of water you can clear and the max amount of fill items that you can place. Now, because your inventory can only hold 36 slots and you have to have the wand in your right hand, that's 35 slots, times 64, you can only hold roughly, and I hate doing math on camera, but it's somewhere around 2,300 items. In the config, I believe it's 4,096 is the most you can fill, but you can't hold that many. The other thing is that the max it would let you clear is 16,384 blocks with sponge, using water or lava with the sponge wand. However, based on the charge rates, because the sponge wand can only hold 2,000 joules, it's only capable of clearing, I believe it is approximately half of the config. It's 4.17 blocks per joule. So when you do the math, it's roughly 8,300 and change. So the default configs are much higher than you can actually do. So now we start, and by the way, the position selector, the sponge wand, and the fill wand all have to be charged with any Slimefun charger before they can be used. So at the position selector, we left click where we want to start, set position 1, just like for those of you who use World Edit, and then we'll come over here, we'll set position 2. Okay. Now we're going to select the sponge wand, we right click it, and voila, all of our water, lava is gone. So again, based on the amount of power that you have, as long as you select the positions, you could clear, and I haven't tried to go above the limit, but you could clear over 8,000 blocks of water. I mean, talk about making clearing a guardian temple a whole lot easier. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You get your wall up and boom, go in and you clear that water out in a couple of quick moves and you're done. All right, now let's same thing. We want to fill this with stone. So we'll come back here, we'll set our positions again. Now we do have to tell the wand what block we want to use. So I've placed a stone, we shift right click it. Uh-oh, I just biffed it. Hang on, back over here. Right click, sorry, I did the wrong one. The fill wand, not the position selector. Shift right click the fill wand, and that will set it to stone. So let's give myself 300 stone. All right, so I have 300 stone in my inventory. As long as I have the items in my inventory, when I right-click the fill wand after setting the positions with the selector, it will fill it. If I had less than the amount of space I wanted to fill, it would fill up as much as it could. So this is a great tool for building walls, platforms. It's not something you're going to use for detailed building, but it will allow you to place a significantly high number of blocks very rapidly as long as you have them in your inventory. All right, the other thing we're going to talk about here are the unbreakable runes. Now, I don't know about you, when I go mining, I tend to bust picks a lot. I might put Unbreaking 10 on there and Mending, and I'll try to keep an eye on it, or the upgraded explosive pick. And I bust picks a lot on every server, even my private one. I've probably busted a dozen in those 6 episodes already that you've seen, maybe even more. We have an unbreakable rune, which means you will never have to worry about busting your picks like I do, right? So all we do is we drop the tool, we drop the rune, boom, my item is now unbreakable. So I can mine all day long and my pick will not take any durability reduction. Boom. Who needs unbreaking? Who needs mending? With the unbreakable rune, your tools will never break. Now, I can't guarantee you won't ever lose them, but at least you can keep from breaking them. And then you could put Fireproof or Soulbound or any of the other runes on there. So if you drop it in lava, it's salvaged. If you die, you get it back. You're going to spend that much time making an unbreakable rune, I'd kind of want to protect it. So guys, that's everything that we're going to talk about today. Next episode, we're going to get into gearing up to getting ourselves the gear, the armor, the weapons used to kill the Foxy mobs, as well as gaining all those materials by using, way back over there, the Foxy altar. So stay tuned. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. But for now, thanks as always. And don't forget, when you're playing Slimefun, you got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.